What up, everybody? Beacon here from Malice Corp. We are coming to you live for MaliceCast, episode 21. Winner, chicken dinner. Mest has stepped away again because he don't love you like I do. But I am here with you, and I've got a whole crew, and we are going to bring you some nerd love tonight on a Friday because we ain't got nothing better to do. With me tonight, doing a little jig there, is Igor. Say hello, Igor.
May love and wine their rights maintain.
All right. And Super Hoovian Freak.
What up?
Yeah, it's so modded. What up?
I'm not gonna. I can't top that.
Yeah. And he's back again. Guess who's back? Epic Beard. Big Papa Matt.
Hey. How y'all doing tonight? I like how you were just like so gangster about your greeting, Super. I was just like, what's up?
What up?
Yo.
Got better things to do.
Very vanilla ice with that one.
So hey, tonight's kind of a free-for-all. We're really gonna just jump in and go around and talk about what are we nerding out on. If anybody's heard any nerd news, throw it out. And we'll talk about where we're at in our current Nerd Fight poll, which goes until next Friday. So we'll jump in and talk some about that. And we'll see who's joined us in the chat room as well. So that's kind of the schedule for this.
We had all making of me in there. How you doing?
Oh, Nancy. What up?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, let's I don't know, where do you guys want to go first? You want to talk?
We don't have Mest here wrangling us. Stop trying to tell me what to do. All right?
Right? You're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. Stop cattle prodding my ass. Anyway, sorry about that. Explicit content.
Diatribe.
It's all right.
You know we can't say cattle prod.
I know. It's such a terrible thing.
Although that is the best way to find out if someone is drunk or dead. We did preacher
has taught us lessons, and if any lesson has remained stalwart in my mind, it was that.
That was pretty funny.
So if you haven't been following us
alive
on our Preacher cast, you totally should watch Preacher on Monday nights, and then you should tune in and watch us talk about Preacher because it's fantastic. We also talk about Game of Thrones every Sunday night. So those are two ways that you can join us other than tonight. But if you're in the chat channel, just start throwing stuff out of what you'd like to talk about, what you're interested in. And one of us will jump in and talk. Big Papa Matt is going to try to not play Switch in the middle of this.
Man, it's been hard to put Splatoon down. I'm not going to lie.
It's okay. I spent my afternoon getting my butt kicked at the pediatric hospital by little kids in Mario Kart.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
well,
I will
nice
dominate those small children. Put them on. Give them my friend code and tell them how to get beat.
That's a good question. Do you hold back?
No, never.
No,
Those children need to know what disappointment is.
The fact that they're stuck in a pediatric ward is apparently not disappointed enough.
No, they need to know who's boss at Mario Kart.
Exactly. I can honestly attest, and Big Papa can probably attest to my skills in Mario Kart as well, that I did not hold back, and I still got my butt kicked. Because I'm just not very good.
You just ain't got those skills. Hey, what's up in the chat room, Beth? How you doing?
Yeah.
Got Beth joining us. Hello, Beth.
So that's how I spent a good chunk of my afternoon.
Says you're getting fuzzy, Super. By the way, Beth is making comments about your facial hair, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Whoa, okay.
It's probably just my crappy camera.
I'm reading what Nancy wrote, and this is it's kind of tripping me out a bit. She says best nerd thing this week was, I think it's Argonne National Lab scientists simulate levitation by suspending drops of water and other liquids in the air using sound/acoustics. Took two speakers
awesome.
set at 22 kilohertz each.
That's really cool.
If that's not nerdy, I don't know what is.
But what, like, let's just like for reference, like, what does a kilo like hurt? Like, how much noise, sound, like vibration is that? What's
That's a
one?
Good question.
if you're still there with us,
woods
Nancy.
and nobody's there to hear it,
It's a
it
1,000
does not make him kill
cycles.
hertz.
1,000 cycles per second.
Once again, what's that measurement? Like, what's that?
I don't know. That's just what it says.
I'm not a sound nerd, I guess.
It's like a death metal concert. Like,
so you guys are going to have this conversation, and you're not going to call the RF engineer and be like, "Hey guys, what's a kilohertz?"
No, we prefer when you just jump in. Let's
Oh, hey.
Hi, Jeff. When did you get here?
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
grouch coming up from the can. Like,
General Jack Malice.
let me talk to you about kilohertz.
Well, okay, a cycle is a 1 hertz. That's a sine wave. You know, the trough and the crest from high school.
Yeah,
Well, a kilohertz is 1,000 cycles.
1,000 of those. Yeah, I get that. But what is that noise-wise?
You can't hear 22 kilohertz.
Okay, so what's like 1 kilohertz?
It'll hurt you till you're killed.
One
Gotcha.
kilohertz. I have to look up the audio cycles. I'm an RF engineer. I do its radio frequencies. I don't know audible sound.
Thanks for explaining to me what a graph looks like. I get that. I appreciate you. Now I want to know why I can't hear it. Like, what? How loud is that?
Let's see what audible sound
It's like a
frequency
dog.
is.
Is it like a dog whistle kind of thing? Is that?
You might be able to hear 22 kilohertz. I don't. Nope, it's just beyond the normal range of humans. Somebody might be able to hear it.
Normal range.
Would we
Normal
be able?
range.
Would we be able to feel the vibrations? I'm
Yes,
assuming?
you would. You'd be able to feel
Okay.
that.
That's cool.
So
Good
how many
vibrations.
So then how many kilohertz is it going to take to levitate a human?
You'd probably
A
explode
lot
it
more.
much before you could get to.
Well, I'll just put on a lead
Yeah.
suit, and then it won't hurt me. What you got then?
Well, seeing as that RF radiation is non-ionizing radiation, absolutely possibly nothing for you.
I do not think that word means
It'll make
what
me
you
look
think it
awesome,
means.
though. That's what
It'd
that'll
make you
do.
weigh a whole bunch, maybe.
Well, I have
Like
no
you're going
idea
to
where
a
this is
full-body
going.
dentist X-ray.
Mest, where are you?
Yes, I mean, yeah, give me that like the heavy like lead dental vest, and I'll just walk into those 22 kilohertz like a gangster, just like get some.
See, I'm
All
just
right.
glad we're dropping actual science because all I had was, holy crap, Sony bought Funimation for 143 million? You held out for
Dude.
only that little Funimation? Really?
All right,
think
the
we
office
talked about
had,
that last week,
so the
too.
offices are actually right up the street from me, about 25 minutes away in Flower Mound, Texas, over here, and. The fact that they got that much is surprising to me because they're just a distribution company. They don't do anything. They don't make anything. They just put English subs and put it out in the world. That's it. So Sony has every right to buy it for that cheap. I mean, they're not out there actually creating anything.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In other news, Beth brought up the HBO hack with Game of Thrones, which
Oh, was that episode leak that
no,
happened?
it's more than that. It's
What- yeah,
way
what
bigger than that. Like they hacked a ton of Game of Thrones stuff as well as other projects, and they're trying to. What I heard was they were trying to like hold HBO ransom. Like you need to give us a cut into your bid. Like
What?
it sounded ridiculous. It sounded so stupid. I was like, I don't think this could be true. Like they wanted a percentage of HBO, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's dumb.
How is that even going to happen?
Yeah, how are you
Like-
supposed to do that on Traceable, genius?
FBI is
Yeah.
going to be all up in your butt.
Like seriously.
I mean, no, that's a good idea.
Send
You
a
should do
check
that.
to 1234 Street Street. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
really
mean-
freaking smart.
yeah. I don't even know. That makes no sense. That's insane.
So if anybody knows the details on that, they could throw it out. But basically, they have a whole bunch of stuff, and that leaked episode is part of it.
Okay.
Jeez.
I didn't
Which
even
was great to me because I got
any
to
of
watch
them.
it early. So
Yeah. So where did they leak it? Like just on streaming sites? Like
they haven't leaked. That's the only thing that got leaked, as far as I know.
okay.
They're holding back the rest of that information. It has to do with like upcoming shows and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I mean that's big to a network, you know, because they have it on their schedule with their promos and their, you know. So if you leak that crap early, your whole schedule's thrown off, and
Mhm.
your ratings go to crap, and so that could be a big deal. But again, like you said, like I have no idea how they would be able to. I mean, if I guess if they're skilled enough to do that, they're skilled enough to set up an untraceable bank, but it's insane.
Maybe.
Every Game of Thrones character is now going to die thanks to the hack.
We're gonna hold all of our favorite characters hostage because somebody hacked them.
That was already going to happen. So.
You broke the rules, nerds. Now we're gonna kill everybody.
Like that wasn't going to happen anyways, you know.
Right.
I like that. I like that idea, Marley. I really do. I appreciate that. Now I'm just imagining HBO CEOs holding guns and knives to all of our favorite characters' throats.
So. Or they'll take it and they'll kill off all the good characters and they'll put someone like a Theon on the Iron Throne just because. Yeah, who saw that?
Because nobody wants that. Nobody wants
that.
Exactly, nobody. Grey Worm.
Hey, I've heard he's rapping. I'd go for Grey Worm on the throne.
Grey Worm on the Iron Throne.
No, but that's the whole point is nobody wants a Theon on the throne, so they're going to do it just to tick you off.
Kneel before me. I am unsullied.
I don't know. They sound pretty... These hackers sound pretty sincere. They remind me of the guys who hacked CD Projekt Red right before E3. Remember that?
Yeah.
They tried to hold the files in Cyberpunk 2077 for ransom and said, if you don't pay us, it was whatever, millions of dollars. If you don't pay us, we'll leak the information.
It's really dumb.
They basically said, CD Projekt Red basically said, oh no, you're going to leak the information on the game we've already moved past. And publicly said, no, and oh, by the way, fans, it's outdated information, so only trust information you get on the game from us. Thanks. We'll see you. We'll see you at the next convention.
Well, let's go around and talk about what we're all nerding out on at the moment. Let's kind of get that conversation going, and then we'll cap off the end of the night talking about the poll again, and where we're at with the poll, because that was a good start, I think, to this conversation. So, we'll go right to Big Papa Mac because he was talking a little bit about some Splatoon and kind of what he's been nerding out on.
Actually, just been all kinds of stuff. So Splatoon 2, I don't know. Did any of you guys get to try this first Splatoon at all?
Have not.
So Nintendo really went with something different. You know, Nintendo's all about making stuff a little bit more friendly, all that, and they went and made a third-person shooter for their systems. And the first Splatoon had a lot of issues, flaws, whatever. Splatoon 2 is just a really direct sequel with so much more and better things to do. They really made this a lot of fun, and it gets to a point where it's actually, once you get into some of the leagues and the rankings, the ranked battles, things like that, it gets really competitive, and it's actually pretty hardcore, man. Like, there's actually some really, really skilled players in there that I will give my hat and nod to on that.
And can you give us what type of game is this? I'm lost when it comes to this. Is it
absolutely
a shooter type game, or
it's a third-person shooter? So you're over the shoulder with the character, and you're basically playing a Nintendo's version of what a paintball war would be. And instead of actually shooting paintballs at people, you're splattering paint all over an arena, and the person who marks their most territory wins. And your little squids that mark their territory with ink, and it's all different colored. It's adorable and ridiculous. But at the same time, it's been a long time since I've cursed this much at a Nintendo game.
It's no Rayman. It's no Rayman Legends. Yeah,
definitely not. Yeah, it's definitely not your normal Mario Brothers hoot and having some fun there while you laugh and tickle yourself. It gets hardcore, man. And
what are you gaming where you're tickling yourself while you're
tickling yourself?
What? Are you guys don't tickle yourself while you play Zelda? Like this isn't real. Come on now. That's just me? Don't get off your high horses, all of you. Get off your high horses. There's no way it's just me. But no, Splatoon 2 is Nintendo is really nailing it. When they first pitched Switch, right? So Nintendo, a lot of games, computers, PCs, everybody now is kind of going for esports, right? And Nintendo doesn't really have that yet. This was when they started first touting the Switch. This was the game that they started putting into arenas and things like that. So I don't really think it's going to go that cool and crazy because I just don't think the Switch has that kind of fan base.
Right.
But I mean, for you guys, watching a childish, fun, whimsical kind of paintball war, would that be something you'd even want to tune into on Twitch?
Maybe.
It could be fun.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on the hosts.
Yeah, it does.
It depends on-
If it's big,
Absolutely, yeah.
if it's Big Papa like giving us commentary the whole time while he's playing.
I will start shoutcasting Splatoon 2. How about that? Yeah, I'll start doing some shoutcasting on Splatoon 2 for the site.
Yes.
Marley, reverse Mario Sunshine. If Mario Sunshine had paint in that water cannon, I'll give that to you. Absolutely. Great way to kind of describe that. Yeah, instead of cleaning it off, you're making it dirty, though. Absolutely. I'm all about it. And what's really cool about it, though, is there's different weapons. There's different gear you can wear. So you're like dressing your little hipster squid kid up in like reverse hat,
Okay.
earrings.
Yeah, so you can kind of customize it.
Shoes. So you can kind of customize this character and make him look as douchey as possible for sure. But they all have different type of attributes, and some of them help you recover from death faster. Others help you keep items. Others help you refill your ink and things like that quicker. And it's just a lot of fun, man. And there are some actual weapons on there that are pretty hardcore. And shout out to Robert in the chat joining us as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I will have to say, like, they took a very Nintendo twist on a arena style shooter game, and they made it a hell of a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it really is.
And other than that, you've been working, I believe.
A lot of work, but man, you know what's cool?
Which is why you keep missing our other casts.
Well, the thing that's about my work is, every once in a while it gets busy here in the summer, and I end up missing things like Preacher,
right?
Aww.
and
Sad
Game of
puppy.
Thrones.
Aww.
I'm about to just start up a Rick and Morty cast just so I can do something with you guys. I swear, I need something with you guys. I miss y'all. But the other cool thing, they provide me a lot of freedom as well, where I can be on at night like this. So I can't hate on them too much. Oh, I love your Rick. Yes, and he's flipping him off. That is phenomenal. It's a greeting. It's a greeting in this universe, Morty. It sounds like slavery with 4 steps is what that really sounds like, Rick.
Yes.
Phenomenal episode. The other one that I have to give a shout out to. So
Okay.
I posted some video of this and some footage on my Facebook. So please go check it out on that. But Hellblade, Senua's.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this was really cool because when they kind of started up, have you guys ever heard of Heavenly Sword? Do you guys remember that back in like PS2?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it. I think my brother played it. Yeah.
Phenomenal game, but another like kind of cool like thing about Heavenly Sword, bad guy voiced by Andy Serkis in that game.
What?
Nice.
Shut up. That's awesome.
Phenomenal job. So little Easter egg there for y'all. Anyways,
nice.
So what they've kind of done is Sony PlayStation, they basically have seen the gaming industry as this place of indies and AAA titles. And that's kind of really all there is, right? There's independent games that are cheap and easy, accessible. And then there's AAA titles that cost you $70 and last for 20, 30 hours, right? If we're lucky. Sometimes even those AAA titles, you're lucky to get 8 or 10. So what Sony did is they said, you know what? We're going to make a small team. We are going to make a AAA looking title, but we're going to make a half of the game basically and at half the price. So they released this game for $30. And if you go and look at the footage that I've put up, if you go on YouTube, any of the footage of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, this thing looks as good, if not better than anything else out right now. It looks phenomenal. It looks amazing. But what's really cool about it is it takes you at a little bit of a different pace. It's really crazy. What's even cooler about this, though, is there's a ton of like Norse and Celtic mythology throughout this game. So as you're kind of going, you're exploring, you're getting all this really cool mythology. But the even creepier part of this game, and I'm going to ask all of you kind of what you guys think are some like creepy games that you're all into, but they actually hired a therapist and a psychology major and a psychotherapist to help them kind of give them leads into psychosis. And they actually built a psychotic character for this game. And they actually recommend you play it in the dark with surround sound headphones.
Oh, wow.
So you can hear everything that's going on and be in that character's head. And instead of like having a little like horrible voice like Navi, Navi from yeah. It's 20 voices in your head driving you crazy, helping you, being bad, doing terrible things.
Right.
This is crazy. So shout out to
your
that
character.
That's what I got for you guys, man. It's crazy. It really is.
What was that, Igor?
It's your character. I thought you were talking about a character in the game, not the one you played. That sounds awesome.
It's you, which is the coolest part about it. It really is.
That is
and
cool.
It takes a ton of stuff in there. But for you guys, like, what are some favorite like scary games, something like that? I mean, do you guys remember anything that was like super creepy playing or seeing anything ever?
Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, especially if we're talking Nintendo love tonight.
Eternal Darkness, Igor, you're my man. High five, Digital.
What was that
game?
Beautiful
what was that
thing.
game that they made the movie out of? That the game is creeper. Silent Hill. That's Silent Hill. Yeah.
Silent Hill's definitely. I've actually
creepy.
compared this. That if Heavenly Sword and Silent Hill had a baby, that's what you get with Senua's Sacrifice. Like that's what this is.
Because that movie was definitely messed up. The game was insane. So that was something else.
They tried it with one of the Silent Hill entries. I can't remember which one, but it was the one that's set in winter, I think, where it was supposed to be you fill out an actual full psych profile form, and then it was RNG, but it was RNG specifically slotted in based on your psych profile responses, and that sounded awesome, and it became so just thunderously okay. It was sad.
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome, though. And then Beth put in The Seventh Guest. I don't remember that one, but it already sounds creepy to me. So
point and click era. Point and click era. Oh, man. Let me put it to you this way. Beth, you're probably the only one who will get this, but Old Man Stauff built a house and filled it with his toys. 6 guests came one dark night. Their screams the only noise. There's no one who knows what happened next. There's no one left to say. But if you should see Old Man Stauff, get on your knees and pray.
I'm officially creeped out. All right.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle game and it's amazing. It's a puzzle game in a haunted house.
Turn some lights on in the house now. It is now too dark and scary for this moment anymore.
Wow. Nice. Well, Igor, I guess why don't you just tell us what you've been up to? You've been doing.
Well, I'm still playing Dungeon Defenders 2 because as you probably just noticed, I'm not terribly Nintendo heavy right now. But I still love the style. I still love the style so much. I just wish my pocketbook agreed with me. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
But I love the style so much that I'm still geeking out on Dungeon Defenders 2. These beautiful people give us it's one of those where the model, many of you know tower defense games. If somebody doesn't, it's very arcade, sort of like run around, beat 'em up sort of action. But along with being able to do that, you can make like essentially gun turrets of different shapes and flavors and walls, and you're supposed to protect a widget from being destroyed by the bad guys. If the widget survives, you win. If you don't survive, that's fine. But if the widget doesn't survive, you lose. But what happens in Dungeon Defenders 2 is nothing really special as the genre goes. I just really like their style. The music, the sound design, and the art are all very, very much what I would picture a Gendy Tartakovsky like cheapo, like budget quality game that he made for Nintendo would be like.
Yeah.
And they even gave us. Games. Oh yeah. They even essentially gave us a free character and free costumes just because it's summer and they like us. So that just recently. So that was cool. And I tried to steal Marley Buff from you guys. I'm sorry. She's actually right over there. It didn't work. But rather than really committing to the watching or the reading, I helped her get into a few more of the anime classics she'd never seen Jinro. And I won't spoil anything other than for anybody who doesn't know it. I can tell we have at least one who knows it. But it's the best retelling I've ever seen, and it's of Little Red Riding Hood, no less.
Oh,
nice.
done by some old school anime action drama. That I recommended. Also, not a happy story. Fair warning.
Oh, yeah.
Next performer.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good chat going on in the chat channel. Like Robert just saying, he started playing Dark and Light.
Yeah, another creepy game. I remember hearing about that.
I don't know that game.
And also Seven Days to Die, of course, which I know Jack plays a lot of as well.
Yes, he loves that game.
The better was Marley with the Fatal Frame shout out and the Ocarina of Time redeads when they started screaming at you when you walked around on them like that. Yeah. I remember being on the 64 and be like, "What the hell is that? Oh my god, get out of here! Like this is not the place where I should be."
and then Beth mentioned Seventh Guest.
Yep.
So nice. Those are some great call outs too in the chat channel there.
Good stuff.
You memorized all the 7th Guest intro.
I haven't played it since the 90s. I still remember it.
Is that one of those things that just stick with you? Is that it? Yeah, I saw that on. I was watching an old interview with Conan and the guy that plays Sheldon Cooper, Jim Parsons. And
awesome.
If you remember the episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon has to sing the Element song when he's drunk, so he said on the interview, he's like, I will never forget that song. Like, I will just be walking around the house, and he goes, and it's like 2 years later, and he'll just break out in that song. And then Conan's like, well, I did this play as a kid, and he had to do like this list of where he was one of Santa's elves, and he was reading off the toy list, and he goes, I did that in 2nd grade, and I can recite it. And he actually did it,
Oh, wow.
And so I guess we all have one of those things that just won't. Mine is the song from the Buffy Hush, the little girl that sings that creepy opener. They could make a game off that, man. That would be a nice little creepy game with that little freaking dude.
Hey, I'm in, man. Keep it out.
So Super, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what you've been nerding out on? Talk to us about this crazy thing that you've been doing this week.
I haven't been watching anything. I've just been doing Misha's scavenger hunt all week, and it's weird.
Yeah. Orange peel dresses and
I got my Barbie doll that I made. I took her out to a bar. She got a little cocktail dress on that I made out of orange peels.
Here's my thing: like, how dare Misha Collins abuse his power and says, "Go do crazy things for me, nerds!" Now,
I know.
That's just a blatant abuse of power. I feel
pretty much, and he acknowledges it. Like, he's not shy in admitting it. He's like, I just think of crazy things, and it's my source of amusement for the year. And
is there charity involved in this too, though?
Oh yeah. There's definitely charity. All of the entry fees go to his charity. This year they went to save rainforests in Nepal. Nice. They also just came out with a task a couple days ago where they're raising money for a ballet school, and I want to say it's in South Africa somewhere. The proprietor is dying. She just got diagnosed with a terminal illness, and so they're raising the money to keep the school going after her death. And she doesn't know. They're going to surprise her with it. Last year, it was Syrian refugee families that were they were building homes for. So yeah, so there. I mean, amidst all the craziness, there is some actually really good stuff that's going on, but there is a lot of humiliation and craziness. And,
so one thing funny that happened this week is one of my buddies was driving from Utah up to Idaho, and he was in eastern Idaho, and he stopped at a gas station, and some dude got out of his car wearing just an adult diaper and was pumping his gas, like literally sandals and adult diaper. And so he's telling me about this and like creeping out on him. I'm like, I wonder if this is a Gishwish thing. Let me ask Super. And so I
actually looked, and I'm like, it's not on there, but
no, it's just a creepy Eastern Idaho thing. I'm like, oh.
No, what's gonna happen now is we're gonna be at the gas station, and we already can't be on our cell phones and have cigarettes. Now we can't wear adult diapers. Like, that's what's gonna happen with that.
Come on.
That is what's gonna come of that moment. Is now we're gonna have another "Don't do this" warning label at the gas stations.
Right?
I mean, I know it's been hot. I know it's been hotter than heck out there, but you could have at least thrown on like a tank top, or.
And it's not like it was an old dude either. He said it was like,
it was just a lazy dude, a guy that didn't feel like hopping into the toilet in there.
You know
what? But for most gas station toilets, I might take an adult diaper versus most gas station toilets.
It's a little less risky.
Yeah, much less risk of dysentery.
I've actually seen one. I don't remember where it was, but it was so bad that I came out and I was like, dude, serious? And he's like, yeah. He's like, if you go down half a block, there's a really sanitary porta potty that you can use instead. And no joke,
there's a bush on the side of the road.
Yeah, and no joke, you went down and that porta potty was like 100 times cleaner than that bathroom. I'm like, that is so gross. So gross.
So sorry to get off on that tangent there, but
that was pretty funny. Yeah. So that's been all crazy stuff has been going on.
Yeah.
And Marley agrees with me. It always takes just that one person to ruin our gas station fun.
Yeah.
I know.
I've got a couple things to talk about that I've been doing. I think I'll wait to say the last one.
Hold on 1 sec.
Yeah.
Hey, Beacon, what have you been up to this week?
Oh, yeah, glad you asked. Couple things. I'm going to leave the best one for last because we've had some great conversation about it in the chat channel. So I'm going to try to loop this thing together here. Let's see.
We believe in you.
I've been watching I've been catching up on shows. So I know Big Papa Matt loves this show too. I've been watching a lot of Forged in Fire.
Oh, dude, that's my jam. I love watching people beat some metal. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
You guys don't know what that show is.
Is that the one that makes the weapons?
Yeah. So it's a competitive weaponsmith show, like where they literally like heat up the metal and they create knives or all kinds of crazy weapons, historical weapons, and then they put them to the test as well with like sharpness test and strength tests and all that stuff. So it's one of those just super nerd out things that
it's such like
so
a
cool.
very like
Doug Marcaida.
Doug Marcaida. I mean, this guy. First of all, there's a guy out there that looks so goofy, but he could kill everybody in the room within like 3 seconds
with just his hands. Yeah, he doesn't even need a weapon.
Crazy deadly guy, but he looks so unopposing. But it's such a weird show where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch somebody beat steel into a shape. And for some reason, I can't stop watching it. I love watching it, man.
It's so
good. It's like that thing it's like the people that both hate, like a reality show, like a Honey Boo Boo, but at the same time, you can't stop watching it. You're just like, it's a train wreck.
I'm going to stop you right there because Honey Boo Boo never sliced a ham in half with a blade that she forged that fire.
I mean, but
on camera,
live, and then afterwards, this will cut.
But it's that same weird, like, that you shouldn't be watching it, but at the same time, it's like you can't turn it off. Yeah.
So you're saying it's like watching a car accident?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should definitely watch it, though. I've been watching a lot of Ink Master too. I don't know if you guys watch Ink Master at all. I get into that, watching people get tattooed. It's always a fun time. And
I've seen some episodes, but it has been a while. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. But I mean, reality TV on a whole is hard for me to get into. It really just depends. I mean, I can do the cooking shows, but
I was gonna say Master Chef. I've been catching up on.
Yeah,
like
Master
4
Chef,
episodes of Master Chef. I had to catch up.
All the freaking baking competitions. Mm-hmm. I can't turn those off.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to catch up on them.
Yeah. Yes. And then last but not least is
Marley a little fantastic joke for us as we talked about Forged in Fire. Anakin Skywalker would hate it.
Anakin Skywalker and the Hound.
Right there, Marley. That was
the Hound.
Almost missed that one. So good little shot.
Yeah,
yes, the Hound absolutely.
Would definitely hate it.
Boom, and there's my segue. So the last little bit of nerding out I've been doing is I am now on. If you think I binge watch the show, I am now on book 3, chapter 57. So.
And the funny thing, I can't even remember. Is that halfway through the book? Is that near the end of the book? I don't even remember. It's 82
chapters in that particular book.
Okay, so it's about
over halfway. I'm through the Red Wedding. Got past that.
How different was it from the book to the show for you? Did you like? Yeah, the Red Wedding.
I thought HBO did a hell of a better job. For one, like killing the youngest daughter of Lord Frey is much more impactful than just killing the
Joker or whatever.
Yeah, the kid that's like mentally
the jester. Yeah,
which is sad. I'm not trying to say it's not sad.
Moon Pie, I think was his name. Was it Moon Pie?
I get all of them. No, it was Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. Oh, Moon Pie, Jingle Bells.
Moon Boy.
Samsonite. Man, I was way off.
Well, you were thinking Moon Boy. Moon Boy was one of the jesters in Grafton's court.
Yes. Okay.
I thought you were meaning like Moon, like the meme. So I was way off there.
So I'll agree with you there, but in the book, Rob didn't have his wife there.
Right. I mean, and she's not there in the book as well.
Very different. So she's not there in the book. She's still alive, possibly pregnant with his kid.
Right.
And So, I mean, that's a whole different area the book can still explore that they essentially just annihilated.
Yeah, that's true. And I really think it's just HBO trying to take a clear path to completion, whereas, who the hell knows where George R.R. Martin is with this whole thing? Like,
who knows?
I don't even think he knows where he wants to go. Like, so I'm enjoying kind of seeing the differences and noticing the differences in the paths that are being taken. There's other little things that are different, like who fights in the city of Marine, like who fights that battle. It's really the big fat eunuch guy,
or
who's not even in the show.
I mean, just the differences in characters, like Brienne, her and the Hound did not have an epic square off,
Or as the audiobook guy likes to pronounce her name, it's Brienne. Brienne of Tarth.
Interesting. Brienne.
I don't think that's the right pronunciation.
No, it's not. It's really not. But yeah, I mean, her and the Hound did not have an epic fight in front of Arya before Arya fled to Braavos, and so that was thrown in there. I don't know, for dramatics, I guess.
Well, I think HBO did a way better job with Brian, I keep wanting to say Brian, with Brienne's character. Like, I think they did a better job of really boosting her up. Yeah. But on the downside, I had this conversation on Reddit this week, and so I had to wear my Mother of Dragon shirt.
Very nice.
Where's the rest of her title? How dare you only wear Mother of Dragon? There better be something on the back of that T-shirt.
I was going to say, that'd be a really long shirt.
Mother
of Dragon, really long shirt.
I think you'd have to put that on your sheets on your bed before you could get the whole title down on that.
Hey, Papa, let's try this. It's Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, first of her name. Queen of the Anvils and the First Man, right?
You can keep. I don't know it enough to quote it.
Khaleesi of the Khalasar.
She's Breaker of Chains.
Chains, Unburnt, Mother of Dragons.
I mean, she has like 50 titles. It is ridiculous.
It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
Mother of the stag that ride that or whatever.
That goes on and on, my friends.
I'll point out as something I've seen online. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I partnered with a friend of mine, and we run a Game of Thrones group, and they're having, it's not a war, so to speak, but it's Team Brienne and what was his name, Tormund, the wildling, Tormund.
Yes.
Yeah, Tormund Giantsbane, and then
that's
their team.
Happen.
Yeah, and then there's Team Brienne and Jaime, because if you read the books, they explore that potential a lot more in the books than they do. They kind of went away from it in the show. It was there for a little bit, but then she left to go do her duty, and they haven't had any contact.
Duty.
The only thing Jaime needs to kiss is the edge of a sword. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Sorry.
But
the North remembers.
It's been interesting to see the two of them, the two groups, so to speak. I mean, it's not nearly to the levels of other crazy shippers, but it's interesting to see the dynamic of the two of them debating, because essentially it's come down to the books versus the show side, and they're each fighting their cause.
Right.
Well, the books never had a chance to explore the bear and Brienne. So
no, not yet. Maybe
that was Martin's whole plan the whole time. Maybe he told him. He said, Brienne marries this guy. So
yeah, maybe, because we don't know where she. I
just love the little looks he keeps giving her. Like, and then she gives him the what are you looking at kind of look, and he's like, hey,
like this big lady over here.
Oh, she's mean.
Yeah. She'll smack me around, yeah.
What I was gonna say is the hatred towards Daenerys, I don't understand. Like, I'm reading Reddit, and like these people are just hating on her. Like, well, she's basically using dragons, like that's like weapons of mass destruction and blah blah blah. Yet you're okay with Walter Frey like completely killing off almost every Tully and Stark all in one fell swoop in the middle of a wedding and breaking all kinds of oaths when they do it. Like. Or, I don't know,
MC.
Like Battle of Blackwater Bay, and they're using freaking wildfire to just burn people in their boats. I mean, like, it's war.
But you use a dragon, and it's an unfair
But she didn't kill civilians. They're soldiers, you know. Anyway, soldiers. So there was this big, huge thing about that, and then I asked the question, like, why are you hating on her?
She hasn't done it yet. You know, how far does she go before she starts killing civilians? You know? How far does that power go, right? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So there's just that whole thing where she has the ultimate power. She could go and take out anybody in Westeros right now with those dragons, but where does that line need to be crossed and stopped? So I get that people are questioning those motives, but to just purely hate her for something she hasn't done yet,
right?
Yeah, that's kind of like Minority Report stuff where we're just
yes, we're hating for the potential.
Yet, so.
Robert gave a shout out to Jamie. He likes Jamie because he's a conflicted character.
Well, he is.
I agree with. But,
and they're starting, I think, to get that now because they did a good job of that in the books. When you hit 4 or book 4, I think it's book 4, where they show the disconnect between him and Cersei really start to form, and he splits off and actually goes with Brienne in the books, and you don't know what they're doing. That's where it cuts off. So who knows what the hell they're doing? But you see that anti-hero almost come back into play. The guy that took down the Mad King, the guy that has to do what has to be done, you know. And so I'm not saying he's still a good guy at heart, you know, necessarily, but he's definitely doing what needs to be done for the better of everyone, as opposed to just for the betterment of his house.
Which is what he's always done, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which he went away from at the beginning of the books. He wasn't portrayed that way in the beginning of the books, but now you see that guy coming back into play.
Yeah, he does have a handicap.
He's got quite that handicap.
Yeah. So I do have a question though.
There's actually a really cool article, and you guys got to check this out. I'll put a link up somewhere on the side or something like that for it, where there's actually a theory going around where Jaime is the promised prince of the prophecy. Yeah. That he is his hand is the golden hand and not the light. The hand of light is what was kind of, it could be
construed, or misinterpreted,
anything like that, misinterpreted. It's actually a really good read. It's pretty awesome to kind of see that Jaime's taken that same path as the prophecy reads it has done as well, where the 3 different trials that he's gone through, killing a king on the first part, are being born in water, breaking in water, killing a lion, and then having to kill his love to finish the creation of Lightbringer. So Jaime is kind of on that same path. It was actually a really cool read, and I like the fact that there's some ideas with that floating around, especially if they go after Cersei with it too.
Right.
That would be interesting. I would like to read that.
I'm interested to hear this. Yeah. The arguments on this whole Dany thing is that she doesn't have a good story arc. I'm interested to hear what you think of that.
What?
She doesn't have a good story arc.
She doesn't. No.
I think it's they're just saying it from the HBO show, because if you're reading the book, like the journey that she's gone through to get to where she is.
It's
so pretty freaking crazy when you think about it.
That's the thing, and that's the crazy part of this, right? Is we didn't hear anything about kind of her like really hardships where she was, brutalized and raped and all these things by the Dothraki until this season where she announces that those are the things that she's been through. Where in the books you get a lot more of that brutalization.
Oh yeah.
And in the show it was, oh, it's a love story. She's not being brutalized. Like, she's in love with this. Like, what the heck is going on? It
became a love story in the end. Right. They found a common ground and she did her thing. But no, in the beginning, she was just playing a part. And
when she did not want to go through with it. No, she didn't want it to happen.
The thing is, the show never really showed that. The show never really did that. And that's where I think a lot of these folks who are on Reddits and stuff that are probably doing a lot of the show stuff and watching most of the show, that's where they're not seeing that great story and that great adventure and quest and trials that she's been through.
Yeah. Not to mention that she ran. I mean, she's literally ran her entire life from people who have been trying to kill her. Mm-hmm. Literally, her entire life, people have been trying to kill her.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's crazy.
And then, what was I going to say? Oh, well, the storyline in the show makes her seem a little bit. She never really seemed to have her own purpose. she's always living the purpose of someone else. The brother, I'm going to be sold for the brother to get his crown. Okay, now I'm going to take over my brother's quest to get the crown. Like, I don't even think she ever sat back and said, well, do I really want to be the queen of this place that I've never been? I mean, is she doing it for vengeance? Is she doing it just because it's what her brother wanted? Is it because she thinks it's the right thing to do to liberate these people? They never really explain why she's doing this. Like, she could have been fine, set up in Marine, and ruling over Slaver's Bay, and she really had no reason to come to Westeros.
Well,
that they've given.
But
except that it's her right.
It's her right. It's her birthright. She's out seeking revenge. She got her dragons, and now it's time to take back that birthright that she was always sold to was hers anyways, right?
Yeah.
And those were the things and she meant to carry that on. Even though, you know what, that her brother did plant that seed in her head. Is that what they needed to do, right?
Yeah.
True, but then also, I mean, Khal Drogo said, like, I'm going to give you the Iron Throne.
I'll give you the world. I'll give you the Iron Throne as well.
Yeah, and so for her, there's that wanting to complete that journey that she began with him as well. Like, they were going to rule the world together, and that's what their son was, the stag that mounts the world. I mean, there's so much tied into that I think gets lost in the HBO series, where I think they kind of do a disservice to her character. So I just had a rant about that because, like, I got into some heated discussions on good old Reddit because of that. Like,
good old Reddit war.
And yet,
like, you people need to just read books or go back and watch it because you're crazy. Crazy.
But Reddit is always so polite and nice. I read it.
Well, yeah, it is.
But in all seriousness, I think that speaks a lot toward the good qualities of the way they're approaching the show. Because one of my favorite authors almost had me screaming at the paperbacks and actually screaming at a paperback book because our dear sweet protagonist was that freaking stupid, and everybody knew it except for him. And I just wanted to say, ah! So. But still, the fact that people are looking at this one aspect and saying, where's the depth? We need to know more. This is not enough.
Right.
Doesn't come from a place if you don't give a crap about the rest of it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
very much.
So, silver linings, maybe?
Well, the thing in, Nancy is making of me on there is talking about there's never enough Dany on Game of Thrones, and I agree. There's a lot to that, and like Robert's saying, she's wanting that revenge to the people, to the families that ruined hers,
family,
the people that she never got a chance to love. They were killed before her, before she ever got to know those folks, and those are the people that she's after to kill as well. What I really like to see for sure going on here is more of that timepiece, right? Show more of that motivation, those things that she hates. Show that fuel, right? Show the tackling fuel,
what I'm
man.
saying
Let me see that.
Like, we all know that it's there, but show it. That's what
I think the other thing too is that I wish that they would do is I wish they would just put like a little blurb on the bottom of the screen that says like 3 months later or 1 year later or whatever, because
especially with this season.
But here's the thing,
but people would
the books never did that though. The books never did that. That's the thing. Like, there's nothing about that was like, this took us 4 months to get there. A year later, it never did anything like that.
The only way you get it is from everybody once in a while mentioning their name day, and that's the only way or Arya saying like, I'm 12, and then she's like, I'm not, but she's not really 12. And then, you know what I mean? Like, those are the only ways you ever get an idea.
What's up, Matt? All due respect to your beard and everything, but remember, the books are a bad example when we're talking about getting.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
To begin with, because he purposely uses a reliable narrator.
100%.
It's always 100%. What he or she thinks is going on, and then they die, and then we find out what these other people were really doing.
No, you're absolutely right, and like I said, and that's why I think you don't want the timelines. And I know you guys always joke about it on our Game of Thrones recaps, where you're always talking about, oh, there's a portal gun again. But that's the thing with this world, right? It's not meant to have a time or anything like that. There was never anything that was drawn out that said it takes this long to march from here to here or anything like that.
That's
the time was. never really put out there. That was never a big thing. Winter. How long is winter?
Right. I was going to say that's an interesting point because
this
winter
world
can be 10 years, summer can be 12, and then there's no
about
rhyme or
how
reason.
we perceive time. Right. We perceive time on our Earth as revolutions around the sun and spins of our planet. That's how we calculate time on our planet. But this Westeros, this Eastros, this could be a whole different thing. This could have very different revolutions, different, all of that could be way different and way changed. And that time doesn't make any sense for that.
Just a fun aside, because Martin's been staying very tight-lipped about it, of course, but it was somewhere on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, many moons ago, that I saw somebody with a pretty comprehensive list of notes of evidence to say that Westeros is either inside of a sphere or it's a ring world.
Possible.
And I mean literally.
No flat Earth theory on that. We'll see.
Well, I would say what's
Oh, go ahead.
What's Tolkien's world? Is it a sphere or is it a flat Earth? Whatever it is, it's probably R.R. Martin's is because he seems to.
I think it was a sphere, but I mean, like this theory said that the world was inside of a sphere, not was a sphere, but was in the center of a sphere.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, he even ripped off the RR.
Okay, so I have a question then. This is the world that they live in, okay? Because in the scene where Jaime's riding on the horseback and he's got the lance and he's like, "Here I am, I'm charging Leroy Jenkins style," going. Bronn knocks him off the horse, and he's in like ankle-deep water. So how the hell is he floating so far down?
He was on the edge of a lake, is what that was.
I mean, so it was like, it was like literally like this, like.
It had a big drop off, yeah.
Yeah, you can have drop offs. You can have sea shelves or shelves.
Oh yeah. Sea shelves are scary things.
Yeah.
It's usually not 5 feet. I mean, I guess we're supposed to suspend our disbelief.
Once again, we're all sitting here and we love watching superhero movies where we can bounce bullets off our chests. But you know what? It's not the same if Jon Snow gets off a boat without a longer beard. It's.
Yeah.
Can I give one last rant about these books though?
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. You're going to have a lot more. Once
I believe in you.
For.
So what I'm going to say is
get it out.
And this is not going to be a popular statement I'm about to say, but I'm kind of glad that Ygritte's now dead in the book because.
How dare you?
You're right that it's not popular. Listen to me, okay? If I have to listen to her say, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," 100 freaking times in one chapter, I'm like, I want to shoot myself, dude.
Like George R.R. Martin trying to hit the word count in an essay.
Exactly.
My publicist needs 5,000 words from me today. I'm gonna hit "You know nothing, Jon Snow."
This is why your book is 80
double spaced.
Oh. We get it. He doesn't know anything except for that one thing, except for the Lord's kiss. He does know that.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, yeah.
You'd have to for what it's worth, man. That's why I had to put down Robert Jordan, because the story was cool and I liked the magic, and I ran out of what's to give with who was sleeping with who. I really did not care. I wanted to get back to it felt like the Trade Federation negotiations again, man. Only it's like, "Oh, you're hot. Oh, you're hot. We know. Get on with it."
Let us continue the story.
Right. Yeah, that's my final rant. But I do want to get back to what Robert said, which is basically like, shut up. It's the best thing on TV right now. And he's absolutely right. I mean,
it's
absolutely right.
There is one show I think that's better actually right now, purely because it's a little bit of everything.
Tell me more.
And that's Rick and Morty, man.
I was about to say, wubba lubba dub dub.
This is not even close to a shameless plug, but it is going to be shameless right here. Rick and Morty is hitting on other levels that a lot of shows just don't know how to hit, man. Like it's funny, it's thought provoking, it's dangerous, it's drama. Like it really does a great job, and it does it so well. And I am very thankful to Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon for creating that thing.
Well, what you need to do is you need to now plug this poll that we're doing. So we're doing this poll.
Oh, that's right.
On what's the best cartoon? What's the best cartoon series? And Rick and Morty right now is kind of in the middle. So
it's climbing.
That's a great place to start. Let's jump in and let's talk about this poll. And then we'll give everybody a chance if they want to jump in and talk about why you should maybe vote for one show or the other. So at the very, very bottom, with only one vote, is The Simpsons, which I'm not mad
Dude.
at. I said it last week. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Everyone probably still watches it, but it's The Simpsons. It's just kind of
there's
like
better things on TV.
The thing is there's much better things out, and it's too safe of a show now. Think about when it first rolled out and why it was so great. It was edgy. It was different. It's a family show now that everybody can watch, and it's not that what it was and what made it great.
True that.
It's the McDonald's of cartoons.
Yes, and I feel fat watching it every single time.
Only it's not like McDonald's, because with McDonald's there's something about like
there's just a lot more.
It's addicting.
After I'm done with McDonald's, like
I feel so dirty.
I'm not as greasy when I'm done with The Simpsons. Like I saw that same bloating feel, but not as greasy, and I don't smell like ketchup, so that's a good thing.
Next to tied for last is good old Phineas and Ferb with one vote. Yeah. Or poor Perry the Platypus. Again, there's other good things out there, and there's other good things on the list. So,
like baby building a rocket, or fighting a mummy, or climbing up. I won't do that again this episode. I apologize.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is what's tied now. Rick and Morty are tied with 7 votes with Thundar the Barbarian. So
Thundar.
A show
I hadn't caught that. That is amazing.
Hey, Thundar the Barbarian is a cartoon before its time. Okay.
Yeah.
If it was in this, it would have a much better following. It didn't last very long because
I remember getting to see Thundar the Barbarian, Gultar and the Golden Lands, wacky races, the whole kit and caboodle. I remember all. Peppered Fun remembers.
But as Big Papa was kind of talking about Rick and Morty, so yeah, you should probably get out and vote for Rick and Morty and support that show because it's a good one.
Yeah.
All due respect to Thundar, it's better.
It's better. It is. It should be higher. In third place right now is those crazy kids from South Park. So whole lot of fun.
My South Park has been ruined for me now since Mest has been doing Cartman impressions all week. And I'm dude, I don't hear Cartman anymore. Now I just hear everything in Mest's voice. And I'm like, it's been ruined. You've ruined South Park. Oh.
Yeah, if you didn't watch last week's cast, by the way, you really should go back and watch last week's cast and check out the thumbnail that was created for it because it's hilarious.
Haunting faces is all I see.
Yes.
Haunting my dreams.
In second place, the total of 15 votes is Animaniacs.
That's right.
Which is coming back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and number one in your hearts and on the votes.
It's gonna be a tough one to take down for any of the other shows, man. I think Futurama, it is phenomenal. I just wish it would have got the support it needed when it was always on TV.
Right. I mean, it was the show that you couldn't kill, though.
Yeah.
You really think about it. It came on, it had a couple seasons, then it went off, then it came back, then it went off, then it came back, then it went off, then it came back, then they did a couple movies, then it came back.
It was the show that got Al Gore to crack jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just like I think this is
mic drop.
This is like the first ultimate binge watching show where you could sit down and watch for hours Futurama, and you had great content.
Episodes.
You had really good stuff. Nothing was super timely or anything like that. There's your slurm as well, but great jokes, great style. But it was something that was a little bit timeless, even though it was in the future. It felt almost nostalgic.
Well, one of the things that's awesome is they do like ask me anything on Reddit all the time, and they'll bring on like Billy West will be on with them, and they'll have Joe DiMaggio on or Joe
at the baseball.
Joe was the bat in the baseball bat. John has the pipes.
Has the amazing voice.
Yeah, John DiMaggio, and they would throw things in there on purpose that were kind of trending, and it was just so awesome. The timing of the different references they would bring up on the show. I mean, it's just impeccable timing with just everything they do. What
Futurama did well is it tapped into the internet and the age that it's a part of.
Mm-hmm.
It's tapped into that world, into that subculture so well. And Robert, saying it was not a game changer. I don't think it was a game changer. I don't think it was anything that was over the top crazy. But what it did do was it made something that was accessible to anybody that put it on. Nobody didn't get the joke. And that's what was the great thing about Futurama, and is about Futurama, is that you can turn on any episode and you get every joke that's on it. It's hilarious.
And it really is that thing that I can put on and watch at any time. By the way, there is a subreddit of there's a
subreddit of subreddit, man.
I know, right? It's called Futurama. I think it's called Futurama Sleep. And it's just a subreddit of people that watch Futurama before they go to bed and like fall asleep watching Futurama. there's like thousands of people that are in this subreddit. It's fantastic.
That's funny.
So I love it.
It's
not
leading the way right now. I fell asleep to.
It's leading the way.
I feel like you still might be taking a little too far, Reddit. A little too
yeah, maybe.
Reddit's crazy.
Man. There's nothing too far on the internet. Let it go. Let it go to the vast beyond.
Oh, God. Give me the cat videos again, not the Frozen videos. No.
I'll give you the cat Frozen videos.
So that's our nerd poll. Make sure you get out and vote. You can vote every 12 hours. So get on the website, malice-corp.com. You can go scroll to the very bottom of the page and you'll see the nerd fight down there. Or, of course, access the article on any one of the links that we've sent out on Twitter. A couple plugs.
Don't forget to like and subscribe as well if you're out there watching.
Yeah. If you're watching this, like, subscribe. We would love to have you come join us for all of our different little nerd casts that we do, like Preacher on Mondays and Game of Thrones on Sundays. And we do this every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Couple of little plugs for you is Amazon, Audible from Amazon. That's how I got my Game of Thrones books, because I am not reading that many damn words, people. And there is something soothing about having somebody read a book to you.
Yes, there is.
Good.
You get 2 free books, okay? And then it's $15 a month, and you get 1 book a month if you continue the service. You just trying it out, okay, helps us out. And you get 2 free books. Yes, Igor.
Can overly enthused Igor help out with the Amazon shout out? Because I found something freaking amazing this week.
Please.
Thanks to Marley's dad, because he's insistent on like, oh, if you looked through the Audible library lately, that's it. And he's very insistent about showing me, and I'm so happy he did this time, because when Igor was about this tall, Mom and Dad would take him to the library, and he had a limit of 7 books. No, you are not checking out more. You're not getting more than that until you're finished these 7. So, of course, I constantly look for loopholes around that, like any good nerd would. Found them. Mm-hmm. One was audiobooks. And, of course, when I went to the fantasy section of the audio at that point in time, it was these funny plastic things called cassettes. If you ask Star-Lord, he'll be able to tell you.
Yep.
But I found the Lord of the Rings trilogy on audiobook back in 1980, whatever.
Yes. And if you go to Audible, Rob Ingalls does.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rob Ingalls.
And it's the one, and it's a version you will get Tom Bombadil in, people. You will get your Tom Bombadil, damn it.
Oh, Tom Bombadil walking through the forest. Yeah.
Where we were talking about Seventh Guest earlier, I can still clearly hear Robert singing, "Hey, Tom Bombadil, Tom Bombadillo."
Yeah, so
it's, if you do nothing else with it, get that recording.
Yes,
screw all the others.
There's 4 books. So, The Hobbit and then the 3 Lord of the Rings books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did do The Hobbit as well. Get that one, too. 2 recordings.
Yeah. And Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, is much better than George R.R. Martin. So,
yeah.
I actually have both. So,
I'll do respect.
I can compare.
I'll do respect to Danris and everybody, but yeah, you feel less like a deviant when you read Tolkien.
Yeah, there's something about him. and he's like the father of the nerdiest thing in the world, if you think about it. I mean, that's where do you think Dungeons and Dragons came from, people? Okay. Came from
and large parts of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, diatribe. If you want to buy something on Audible, go to any of our articles and click on the little Amazon link at the bottom and go treat yourself, okay? Buy yourself something. Buy the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones and rewatch them. Don't wait for someone to hack and leak that out. Okay, go watch it.
No.
You like
here's
that?
my thing. Well, and here's the thing with that, right? In I take a very big stance on this kind of stuff with leaks and pirating and anything like that. Is people complain enough about these shows being too short and not getting enough support and not getting enough seasons, not getting enough episodes. And when you're out there pirating and having leaks go out and ruining everything for everybody out there, people stop watching the show. You start defunding those channels and that kind of stuff there. And that's what gives us less good quality items, is when people are out there doing that kind of stuff. So I absolutely agree with you. Go do the right thing, man, and show support for this show. Don't just sit there and want to make sure you're a part of the conversation at the water cooler.
Now, if you're in the San Marcos area, you need to just go down to Battle Mage on Sundays, because then you can have a nice home-crafted beer and watch Game of Thrones. So
Frosty pint, man. It's good.
Yeah, you don't even have to
done
pay
it
for HBO. You just drink their beer, and watch their TV.
It's pretty amazing.
Like any good friend. If you happen to be in the Boise area, check out Turbo Comics. It's at Turbo Comics ID, and there is a big thing going on at the Boise Library here on the I think it's the weekend of the 27th, where they're doing a free comic, like celebrating comics. So yeah, definitely make sure you check that. And last but not least, let's just go around and talk about where you can follow everybody, and we'll call it a night. So we'll start with Super Hoovian Freak there.
Follow me on Twitter at Super Hoovian Nut. Things will go back to normal next week. I promise nothing about teeth or, whatever the hell I've been talking about this week. I don't even know. I'm a zombie.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, Eagler. Talk to us.
Just nice and simple. Come visit me at Harris_Doubledon, like Double Down, but with no W, on Twitch.tv, and or just PlayStation Network. Although if you do to the PlayStation route, please say, "Hey, Malice Corp" or something Malice Corp, because otherwise I delete friend requests if I just get random ones, because I don't know who the heck you are if you don't tell me.
Nice. And now the only person with a tagline that is equal to Daenerys Targaryen, Mr. Big Papa Matt.
The only person who can't publish all their spots on Twitter is 150 characters.
Yes.
At the Big Papa Matt on the website, at Twitter as well. Nerd Mosh Pit. Check out the most amazing podcast out that we run here on Malice Corp. We just got to get episode 8 up. Producer Tim. We also have 9 coming up as well. Has been recorded. We're ready to go for that. So hit us up, Nerd Mosh Pit, on Twitter, as well as at Gmail, Nerd Mosh Pit, and email us anything you like and love. Hey, there's the wonderful Beard, the man himself.
Lies, all lies. Podcast of all time. This is what we're watching right now.
But audio cast is the best audio cast.
Absolutely, audio cast. Also, don't forget to hit me up at Son of Maku, SONOFMAKU, on PlayStation Network, Snapchat, and all those wonderful things. So let me know what you guys think. Have some fun with me. Hit me up on PlayStation Network. If you guys hit me up on PlayStation Network or on any of the Nerd Mosh Pit stuff, I'll also share with you my Nintendo friend code. So wonderful stuff. Hit us up. Check us out.
Get your Splatoon on. Yeah.
Splatoon it up. We can Splatoon it up. I'll Mario Kart you to death. I mean, you just let me know if you want a banana peel in your face. So I'm all about it.
Yeah, and you can follow Jack Malice at Jack_Malice. You can follow this our website at Malice Corp, and you can follow this cast at MaliceCast. And of course, you can follow me at Beacon_ Malice Corp.
Can I
So
drop one more little piece of information out there for everybody to peruse and know about?
please go ahead.
We are commencing to drop a 7 Days to Die server for all of our friends on the internet. If they want, it's a Malice Corp supported 7 Days to Die server. So anybody that wants to play the game and come play with us can jump on. It's a basic Nazarene map with some twists. We're going full Romero on it. So yes, the zombies do not run, but there is a lot more of them than you would normally see, and they are extremely aggressive. So yes, they don't run like you would see in some of the standard 7 Days to Die gameplay, but that's because zombies don't run. They just come in really big hordes. So if you stay tuned to malice-corp.com in the near future, you're going to be able to find the information on how to register, log in, and jump on there and play a little 7 Days to Die with us.
All right.
And I just got Rocket League to join you guys, and I didn't get 7 Days to Die. Oh my gosh!
No, hey, did you get Rocket League on PS4 or did you get it on computer?
PC. Yeah, PC.
Oh, well, let me know, man. I'm down to rock.
I'm trying to say, I was trying to get out there. Now I got to get 7 Days to Die.
No, me and Robert are like, we're ready to play some Rocket League 2. There's 444 right there, man. Let us know.
Yeah, Rocket League is super fun, by the way.
Nice.
I hate to say it, but don't forget, Malice Corp is coming to a Destiny 2 near you on PlayStation.
Oh,
don't forget.
We might get to see that. Oh, hey, I totally forgot. I've been playing Big Papa Man. I love this. I've been playing Diablo 3, the Necromancer add-on.
Yes.
I'm gonna get you guys some videos of that because I'm playing a monk, which if you've played Diablo 3, like the monk is an insane character when you get to the higher levels. And my wife's rolling around as a necromancer, but she's got an army of skeletons like walking around with her wherever she goes, and some big old golem thing, and it's crazy.
The dope is dope right there, man.
Yeah, there's times that like she'll just walk away. She'll literally walk away and like go downstairs to get something to drink, and I'm just playing away, and her host is like doing all the dirty work for her. It's crazy. Super powerful. Lots of fun, but I'll get those videos out as well. Definitely thank you to everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Robert and Marley Ba and Nancy, of course.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys jumping in and joining us as always. And make sure you tune in to us. Next one up is Sunday, Game of Thrones. So make sure you jump in and join us for that. All right. So, yeah, we appreciate, love you all. And until next time, stay nerdy out there.
Good night.